For that.
Good, gentlemen.
What up? What up?
Oh shit! I'm surprised this is the three of y'all, not Zayd. What happened to Zayd, man? He lost his.
There's no football on today, so I can be on time.
They get this pre-smoke in.
Yeah, there's no more hope in the world if Zayd if you guys are on before Zayd.
Oh, there he is.
What's going on, gentlemen? How you feeling, Paul? You feeling a little better?
I'm good, man. I'm good. My throat's still fucked up, but
how you guys doing?
About 2 weeks, bro. I can't shake this shit.
Okay. What's good, Zayd? Hey, Zayd, you mind turning your phone sideways?
Yes.
Call me off guard last podcast. Time? Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then Stu, last episode, your mic was a little low in the beginning because the thingy.
Yeah, I just gotta like pull it. How do I sound?
You sound pretty good. You don't sound as good as me, but you sound okay.
Well, I mean, I have the voice of a buttery black man, but
But you know one thing I noticed? I'll be talking too fast. I'll be high. I get excited. I start talking a fucking million miles per hour, bro. I didn't smoke this time, but I'm gonna take like a half a puff.
I literally just saw smoke come out your mouth like 2 seconds ago. He's already forgetting.
Been going for like 15 minutes already.
No, but I was gonna say it's funny because I was about to come down with something. I felt like I was literally like coming out with something like a week ago, and then I took like my third or fourth shot, and I kind of felt it kick in. I started getting little pumps going, and then it kind of left. I think the test kind of just killed the virus.
Yeah, not with me, man. For about a week and a half, every day after towards the end of my training, I get nauseous, bro. Start throwing up.
Damn.
I don't know what it is.
That happened to Joe too, no?
Yeah, same thing.
But I think it hit me a little worse. I wasn't able to hold it back, man.
That's the thing. See, Paul held it back. I mean, Paul threw up during the workouts. I held it in, and then one night it just all came out all at once. I think he let it out like incrementally, like I didn't.
But Paul also probably eats the most food. No,
I'm up there now. Usually, bro. I'm pretty up there.
Yeah, he's up there now.
What's good, Trevor?
What's up? Thanks for having me on.
What's up, Trevor?
Man of the hour.
Congrats, man. Again,
congrats, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Insane.
Yeah, hey, Beatty, how does it feel being the only fucking amateur here, huh?
Yeah,
it's getting worse and worse.
It's getting bad. It's getting You know how many people ask me like, "Yo, you're not a pro, or you're still not a pro." I'm like, no. I mean, somebody doesn't just give you the card. You got to go earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people think like if you're big. No, I think people think if you're big and you walk around the gym, like somebody's gonna come to the gym, like, yo, you know what? You a big guy. Here's the pro card. You know what I'm saying? It's like it don't work that way. Like you could be a good bodybuilder, but you have to go get it. You got to go earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got what's his name? Elliot Durman, right? Anybody look at him and be like, "Oh, you're a pro," and he'll be like, "No, I mean, regardless if you have the physique or not, you got to put it together that day and earn it." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's the thing too. It's got to be that day. It's like, yeah,
exactly. It got to be specific. Yeah. Listen, you could look good. You could look good for 6 weeks, and there to show. You know, like what's his name? The one that did Trey. Trey, I'm looking at Trey looking like, yeah, that looks like a pro to me. He's about to get his pro card, but that day he spilled and he didn't get it right.
Yep. So it's like Trey about that prep too, and he said he tried to push. They tried to push fullness, so he sent me like his check-ins like the week before, and he's like 10 pounds less, and then they try to push fullness on him, and
I feel like as an amateur, when you have that much muscle already, fullness shouldn't even be a thought.
Yeah, when you're
that much muscle,
easy. I mean, it's kind of easy for you to say, Joe. You got a different
build.
We're
talking about Trey. We're talking about Trey.
But it's like, Trey's body. I got to be honest, because when he did, you would say, well, he was shredded. I mean, he might have been one of the most shredded guys in the lineup, but he still took fifth because he wasn't full enough. So you're still gonna be scarred, right? It's like me. I came in flat because I'm always coming spilled, right? So it's like you try to do the opposite. So him and Blue are like, well, they tell you that you're too flat, you know what I'm saying, and you're not muscular enough. So let's push the fullness. Even though he has a lot of muscle, he's really tall, right? So if he's flat, I don't think he wins the pro card. Now he was definitely way too spilled, you know, but they didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you only know what you
20
know.
pounds heavier though?
25.
Like 30. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you mean you're fucking that much heavier? Like,
that's a lot. That's a lot.
like,
now,
yeah.
I think he was legit.
Just peel, just heavy as fuck. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he could have came in 20 pounds heavier and probably still been peeled, you know. But it's like it takes a while to kind of figure it out because, like, you know, he's like pushing the food, and he's not filling out. And that last push, for whatever reason, that's the push that sticks, right? And it's easy to see it from the outside looking in, but when you're in it, sometimes it happens so quick, you know what I'm saying? It could happen in a matter of, you know, hours sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So same with Stu. Like, Stu have to push the food so hard, you know, during the end, but all it takes is that one extra burger, and then Stu looks like me up there, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah, man, but listen, man, it's also easy to say that you know, people, they give pro cards too easy. I mean, yeah, compared to the 90s, but there were only, I don't know, 50 guys in the lineup, 100 guys, and nowadays you have 50 guys in each fucking weight class, you know. So it's like, is it easier? I don't. In some ways, yes, but it doesn't really matter, bro. Like we say that the cream rises to the top, so it's irrelevant who turns pro. It's kind of like how good you are, right? It's always going to be how good you are. Yeah, you know, there's guys that beat Nick Walker in the past, guys that beat. I don't think Joe and Stu have lost anything, so it don't count.
We're ready to start losing a lot of shit.
Okay, but like, that's my point. Let's say I don't know, like Ross beat Tonio at the Cal, but Tonio still beats him at the Olympia. It's like, I don't know. End of the day, it's like where you're gonna top off, right? So like we talked about that with the Nationals, like who has the higher ceiling? Trever, somebody signed off. Did Zay disappear?
Yeah.
Zay, man, come on,
Zay.
Zay.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
He got the phone the wrong way.
He's gonna text and be like, my phone died.
Someone tried to break into my store.
No, but Zayd is late. His phone is the wrong way. He's disappearing. Like, what's going on, Zayd? He's supposed to be the stand-up guy.
Smoked before we started.
You look at Nationals, right? And it's like you got Trever and you got Justin, right? And you're like, who has the highest ceiling? And you're like, well, Trever will have the highest ceiling, right? So it's like, where do you go from there? You know. Now, granted, I mean, shit. If Justin could keep adding muscle, shit, that ceiling's gonna be crazy too.
I think that's huge too. Is I think judges take that into perspective, like who has more potential in the IFBB, not just who's the biggest there, but who has the most potential to do something in the IFBB. So
exactly,
I do think they take that in.
I'm gonna have Justin on Sunday, I believe. I should have had him and Trevor on the same time so that they could like fight on air or something.
Yeah, I've been texting him. He gives me his number. Like, he actually we swapped medals on an accident backstage. So I had a super heavy medal and he had my light heavyweight medal. Yeah.
Disrespectful. Disrespect. You know, hey, how did it feel to be the lightweight, Justin?
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have any plans for next year yet? You got anything?
We're gonna take next year off and then decide beginning of 2025. So for sure, next year off. I mean, I was like 206 to 208 before we started the water cutoff, and then we stayed around 201 to 201.6 all day. Like, we kept my look based on my weight pretty much.
Wait. Okay, so you made the weight and then you...
Yep, I made the weight cap and then I bumped up a couple pounds because I just did the sauna to make weight that lasted. And so we still have 15 pounds we could probably put on, 10 to 15.
So, okay, so one thing I was interested about is, do you plan on... First of all, how tall are you?
5'6".
Okay, so you plan on competing in the 212?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure how tall you were. If you were like 5'7", 5'8", and I was like, oh, he's probably gonna try to grow into the open. You know, like Zayd is 6'2" and he did the light heavy. You know.
Yeah, Z's tall for like
His hair.
yeah.
9.5.
Yeah, find out. Okay, but Zayd is a big guy. I mean, he's tall, got a big frame, but he had to suffer to get down. But you didn't suffer that hard to get down to light heavy, right?
I mean, that last 2 days, like we took diuretics early to kind of get some water off, and then I was in the sauna 4 times that day, just like 1 pound at a time, like every half hour. So the water cutoff was pretty brutal, but I mean, it worked, so it wasn't that bad. We made weight okay. So
okay, so the goal is you want to try to be at the top of the weight for 212, or that's not really concerned how high you are?
yes, yeah. I mean, put on as much as we can by the end of 2024, and then we'll make our decision for 2025 for sure. So yeah, we're just up in the air right now, and
did Zay just dip out again?
Yep.
Oh boy. Zay, good old Zay. So okay, so for the record, I was the only one that had you winning. All these guys said, "Oh, Trever."
Oh yeah,
Trever was beat by a landslide.
I watch you guys' stuff every morning on my cardio.
Thank you, brother.
You couldn't find anything better to watch.
Yeah, keep it real, just like something chill that I can just put on and just yeah.
Zay said you should have been last place. Actually, he said you weren't even in the run.
Yeah, Dave has been a huge support. I don't know why he's not on right now, but he's been messaging me this whole prep.
And he's there now.
Like
he's back on.
Like, yeah, Zayd's been awesome. He's like enjoyed last year as an amateur, and just that there's those little comments that do help. You're pushing.
Let me pull up some of these pictures. All right, so going into finals, did you feel like you had it, or
going into like for my light heavyweight class or overall?
Oh, for the overall.
The overall.
Yeah, Trever.
I honestly, I was thinking we had a shot just because of my structure and my shapes, and I know that the IFBB is leaning a little bit more towards like that frame. So like Derek Lunsford, Keon, like these guys that have that like wide lats and a small waist vacuum look. So
yeah,
I knew they were kind of leaning towards that look a little bit more this year. It wasn't out of the question. I wasn't like scared going into the overall or anything, but I felt good.
Were you guys familiar with Trever before the show?
I was not.
No,
I've been following amateur bodybuilding.
I just follow all you guys.
Yeah.
What's your age, Trev?
28.
Okay, and is this your first national show? Because I don't.
2021 USA's with Zayd actually. Zayd was 7th.
Oh, in Arizona.
I came in 14th at that show.
Oh shit!
That was the year it was in Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Ryan did that show. You guys know Ryan. What the fuck is his last name? God, Ryan Foster from Oregon.
Oh yeah, I know Ryan Foster. Yeah. He got his card that year, right? Did he?
No, he got it the next year. He got it last year's nationals. He got second in the supers.
Would you happen to have any pictures up on your profile from the 2021?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad look.
Did you actually look that bad, or it was just like a slightly off peak?
More just like we kind of skydived into this. Like we were just trying to shred fat, like 2 hours of cardio a day. Like we were just pushing body fat off, and I lost my legs, lost my arms, and that's kind of my weaker points. So
was it a late decision to compete? Is that why you shotgunned it like that?
It was more like my coach didn't really push me until like 10 weeks out. And then he's like, okay, let's start 0 carbs and 2 hours of cardio. So it's pretty much that the rest of the time. So
you know who used to do that? John Reagan, my first coach. He would bro, I would be like 10 weeks out, and there would still be like 12 ounces of beef and like 16 ounces of rice. I'm like, hey, Are we gonna start
Starting with
getting
it.
lean anytime soon?
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
had
oh,
to ask him. I had to ask my coach,
yeah.
like, we gonna start pushing like 10 weeks out. Like,
Bro, I'm like, are we gonna start pushing? He's like, yeah, wait for it. And then like 6 weeks out, he's like, yeah, we're gonna go like 0 carbs
yeah.
and 2 hours of cardio. I'm like, yeah, it's coming on a little strong there. We gotta ease our way, we gotta ease our way into this a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And
But John,
yeah, I just lost my legs for that one for sure. And I wasn't as shredded as I should have been, obviously. And
you were with the same coach for this one?
different coach. I heard
Okay.
Cameron like 3 months after the USA's, and then we've been together since. I did that whole off season with him. And yeah, we honestly put on 10 to 12 pounds of muscle tissue, not just like stage weight. It was yeah.
Oh, there you go. Hey, those USA's up there.
we're here. Wait for it.
To the right.
On the right?
Yeah. Yeah, this was
it.
my individual routine. Yeah.
How many guys were in the lightweight?
And light heavies were 27 in this one.
It's not a bad look at all.
I
mean,
but you see how just like a small percentage can move you such a huge, because looking at him, like obviously he wasn't as good, but it wasn't like he was just like fat on stage or something like that, right?
Yeah, I wasn't horrible, but it wasn't the level I need to be. And that was my first national show, and it's kind of like a blessing. Like it opened my eyes to what I needed to do.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So yeah, I'm grateful for it. So I'm happy. But
when the body is peaked, it's such like a different look,
Yeah.
I mean, even the beard, definitely keep the beard going, bro.
Yeah, that's the last time I shaved my face. It's because I forgot my trimmer, so I had to buzz it off. Yeah.
The beard went shows, bro.
Yeah,
beard went through. All right, so I got a question for the boys, right? Here's one thing that I'm still kind of playing with in my head, because it's kind of a little bit different for everybody, and I've tried both myself, but I won't give my answer yet, right? But you guys think in the off season you should push as hard as possible, regardless of body composition, or you should push as hard as possible while staying lean, or you should try to stay like a certain range, in correlation to your stage weight. Like, in which way do you feel like you get the most results? You know what I'm saying? Because you feel like you lose muscle if you get too heavy, or whatever in between. Let's start with Zayd, but before he disappears.
No, maybe I'm not the best to answer this, but I feel like
good point.
30 pounds is around a good number to be above your stage weight. If you are completely sloppy, I personally don't like that, and it doesn't translate to more muscle. Huh?
I say careful. That's me.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't always translate to more muscle on the stage.
No, for sure.
In fact, it's actually, for me, it's the opposite. The tighter I can stay in the off season, the more sensitive I can continue to be towards my food and my appetite. Because the fatter you are, I feel like the appetite goes away. So it's really hard to chow down all these meals. So I can only imagine if I'm like with a lot of body fat, that would shut down my appetite, I'm sure. So I feel like staying on the leaner side, but not too lean at the same time, where you're obsessing about every little line, But in a position where you can take off your shirt and flex, feeling all right. You don't have to be sliced up, but in the middle, in the middle.
I was gonna say that what I tell my clients is that if you're embarrassed to take off your shirt and pants and pose, and you're embarrassed to post that online, then you're probably too far off. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Granted, you can't tell us everybody, because some people be confident as fuck even when they're fat. So so you can't use that for everybody, but you got to see something, bro. Like, if you take off your shirt and I can't tell you're a bodybuilder, then that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge problem. Let's go Paul, since I think he finished chewing, or he finished his meal. Let's come back to Paul. I think he's getting down to the last bit.
Do you guys remember Sean Roden's guest posing one year? He was fucking doo-doo looking. And then 6 months later, won the Olympia.
Yeah.
But okay, but you know what Sean told me? I don't even know how it came up, but I was at Gold Venice and just talking about, I guess, off season, right? And he was like, "Yo, I tried staying lean off season, and I made no gains whatsoever for years. So until I started really like his body, he's not meant to be like a big guy, you know. So he was like, the only way I put on muscle is to eat a bunch of calories. Now that being said, he didn't eat clean calories. He probably could have ate clean calories. He chose to eat, you know, he usually eat like tacos and burritos and stuff mostly, right? So, but it kind of did work because he started putting on more muscle when he did that. It was just a bad look. It just didn't look professional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't look professional.
It was a really bad look.
But he was also clean off season, right? You know how
Yeah.
sometimes people don't believe bodybuilders when they say that, but let's be real. I think we all believed that he was clean in off season, right? And I guess he didn't feel like he could add muscle. So that's another thing, genetic wise. Somebody like Stu can stay lean off season. He's not trying to stay lean. He just is, you know. So I don't know. Did Paul go? You didn't go, Paul, did you?
Not yet, no.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
Well, with me, I feel there's time and place for everything. I feel it's needed to go as heavy as you possibly can to gain some tissue at the beginning. But I mean, once doing that a couple times, you know what I mean, then I've always pushed around about 50 pounds over. So I draw about 50 pounds in every show. So I mean, I still push.
Paul
But I
carries it
always have
really
my
well.
abs too. I mean, I never lose my abs. So,
See, that's what I'm thinking. Like Paul carries it really well. Everybody carries it a little different, you know. Like I feel like Joe looks kind of soft, but he still has abs, and you know he's not fat. You know, you can see like lines.
But if you touch that motherfucker, he's dense as shit. He's tall. He's tall as fuck.
Do that a lot.
It could
Paul?
be.
Yeah, I love it, bro. That's what I said.
I'm big fat fucking Joe.
That's the thing. Like people hold their fat so differently, it could be deceiving. You know, like some people, like let's say in a tank top, you might look shredded, but you show that fucking belly, and it's a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Like Eric, we had him on. The one that does the pranks, not Janicki, Konevsky.
Yes.
He used to get like 320, but he would have abs, right? Granted, that's why you can't just use one body part because, bro, he was fat, but he had abs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like most of us wouldn't have abs if we're fat, but he would be like, well, I still see my abs. I'm like, yeah, but look at your ass, bro. Like your ass looks like that girl from last week.
Exactly.
You know? So it's like you're still like, he was like what, 70 pounds, maybe 75 pounds over stage weight. You don't want to do that.
That's a shitload.
That's, you know what I'm saying? Even if you have lines, if you have to lose 75 pounds to get in shape, that's too fat, you know? So that could be deceiving, you know? Same with me. Even though I look soft off season, I'm still losing a lot of weight, you know? But I tried staying lean and I made no gain. So it's like, I got to find the right spot, you know? Over 300, I think it's too much. But 290, 300, I think is good for now, just to kind of play around with that.
Kind of like the proof is in the pudding kind of thing. Like Joe has made crazy progress every year. Like we've seen his transformations. Like he gets big in the off season, and then it translates to however many pounds of stage weight actually put on. So it's like if it's working and he gets big and he puts on 15 pounds of stage weight that next year, it's like it's obviously working.
Let's take a look at Trever though.
I have a couple beliefs in this. I believe, like for example, when I do my rebounds, right, I keep it as clean as possible. And there gets to a point where even chicken and rice can get you fat once you eat enough of it, right?
Yeah.
So when you're trying to hit a new weight, a new high to put mass on, regardless of how you get there, your body needs to get there, and then your body needs to learn how to be that weight.
Yeah, you got to stay at that top weight.
Yeah, and so also when it comes to training, weight helps move weight. So you put like say 4 plates on the bar, you can move that as your new weight. You train with that kind of weight. You're eventually going to build muscle within that new frame of yours because you're putting that new weight on your muscle for a certain time under tension, right? That's how muscle's built. And so over time, that sloppy look will eventually get solidified the longer you're there, and every time you get there again. But you have to reach it there to start with.
Yeah.
And it's not going to look pretty. So every time you guys see me get bigger and bigger, I turn into a big fat fucking Joe, but I'm training really fucking hard. So that weight and the training kind of coincide. So I'm not just getting fat. There's 50 being built.
Yeah, the fat Joe thing is like particularly because you don't have like a very pretty taper necessarily, and it gets way better when you diet. But like, bro, it's bad when you're in the off season and you got like all the midsection fat. It's like
I think it's cute.
I'm not hating. I'm just
see if you look at Joe off season, you wouldn't know how he could look on stage, right? And like you said, that's not because like he's actually fat. It's just because his shape changes so much, right? It's like it looks like a different person.
Trevor's shape, like in those pictures we were just looking at, like in his what I presume was probably like your peak off season or like the start of your prep. Like you still have the shape there, you know.
Exactly.
Come in like Joe does.
That's why people. But that's why people weren't getting intimidated by Joe. Like people who didn't know Joe, they weren't getting intimidated by him from like the Cal and the USA. So they're like, okay, he looks pretty good. He looks okay. But like not until he's like 6 weeks out, then you're like, whoa, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Hey, this guy. Yeah. So that's when you really get a taste. I was gonna ask the question. I'm going blank. I was gonna ask.
I'm your modern day Lee Priest, bro.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was gonna say the way I've been knowing Compton for a while, right? And what Compton does is he looks at the rate of gain, right? All right. So he knows his clients pretty well. He can look at Joe and be like, so far, Joe has literally been adding like 15, 20 pounds of muscle every season, right? So that being said, okay, he's gaining 2 pounds a week. Okay. 3 pounds a week. Okay. He's not getting fat. We'll keep it. That's good. Right. Now, if you know your client usually averages 5 pounds of muscle a year, you don't want that guy gaining 3 to 5 pounds a week because what the fuck is that? You know, if 12 months it takes him to put on 5 pounds, why would he put 5 pounds a week? He's literally just putting on fucking fat and water. Right. But when you have a Joe, you still have an idea that he can actually put on muscle pretty fast, or Stu. So if he's adding 2-3 pounds a week, you're like, you know what? I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? So the rate of gain has to make sense. You know, if you have a natural athlete that's adding 3 pounds of muscle a year, you don't want that man adding 3 pounds a week because now you're just bullshitting. What the fuck are you adding, right? And then also another thing that I like to do with my clients is that I like to look at the progression of strength, right? Like Joe said, weight moves weight. You know what I'm saying? But that's usually good weight. Sometimes even fat can help with your leverages because when my hamstrings get nice and fat, that squat is easier, right? But if you're starting to get heavier and your strength is staying the same or going backwards, especially when it starts to go backwards, now you got to be okay. Your weight gain is actually affecting your performance, and it's probably not muscle if you're getting weaker. Let's be real, right? So that's another thing to track. I'm seeing Joe getting stronger every week on off season. You know what I'm saying? If he's getting weaker, then we're like, are we just adding weight just to get fat at this point? That's a good thing to track. You know, we talk about appetite. When the appetite stalls and you're like, yo, I can't eat. Force, you know, back in the days, you know, like John Regan, eat that shit anyway. Force that shit down, motherfucker. If you throw that shit up, put it in a cup and drink it. You know what I'm saying? That's bro, that's the kind of shit they were on. But now, now we're not savage anymore. You know, we're kind of savage, but we're not all the way savage. So now you be like, yo, you can't eat. Are you being a pussy or are you being honest? You know, you kind of know your athletes. I know Joe. I don't think anybody on this podcast is going to be a pussy about eating. So if you guys say it, we're going to take it. You know, your coach is going to take it seriously. But okay, you actually can get it down. So let's pull back. Maybe I don't know, 500 calories. You know, let's pull that back for a week. Sometimes I go even more extreme. If I try that, it don't work. I'm like, you know what? Oh, you can't eat? All right, say no more. Let's go 0 carbs this weekend. They're like, you sure? And then Monday, they're like, bro, I'm ready to eat. Trust me, you go 0 carbs for the weekend, come down Monday, you're going to be ready to eat. Hungry. You know, so if everybody's full till they're hungry. Everybody's hungry till they're full. So sometimes you do the opposite, you know. I saw Chris Aceto said the answer is always the opposite. If your arm's not growing and you train them every day, train that bitch once a week. If your arm's not growing, you train it once a week, train that bitch every other day. So the answer is usually the opposite, whatever that may be. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get no girls, start dating guys. No, chill. We ain't going that far. we ain't going that far. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about that because most of the questions I get seem to be off-season related.
I've always said I'd rather overeat in the off-season than under-recover. You know, so I mean, the food is going to translate to muscle repair and growth. If you undereat, or say you try to play that game where you stay lean the whole time, are you pretty much just working out at that point and maintaining what you got? Or like, I wouldn't want to take that risk. I'd rather get a little chubby than to risk leaving gains on the table for all that time I took off.
No, facts. Well, because you're either growing or you're decreasing, or what's the opposite of growing?
Regressing.
Yeah. See, too much to go. I got to put this shit down right here.
Not everybody can be saved, bro.
Yeah, you're either growing or you're regressing. So, do you want to leave it like Milos, right? He'll be like, okay, do you need 300 protein or 500 protein? He's like, I'm not going to leave that shit up for chance. I'd rather get more than less. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that might be a little extreme, but you would rather get. I feel like it's better off to get more than less, right?
Yep.
Now, another thing I'm noticing is that I can't tell if I'm getting older or I'm getting bigger, right? But my recovery seems to get worse every year. Like, I used to do like 6 to 8 exercises, like 4 working sets, all heavy sets, heavy ass weight, all this shit when I was in my early 20s, right? And then like every 3 to 5 years, it's gotten less. Now I'm at the point where I literally do about 3 exercises, about 2 working sets each. And I get
sleep quality.
Oh, my sleep always been shit. My sleep has always been horrible since I was I didn't sleep much even as a teenager. I was a pretty big kid, like I've always been pretty big, right? So one thing I noticed, every few years my overall volume goes down, but what I'm noticing is that I'm still getting sore, I'm still growing, I'm still getting full. So I'm like, maybe I just don't need that much volume. You know, you guys are all different ages, but you're all pretty big guys, right? So do you guys notice your recovery going down as you get bigger or older or anything like that? No?
Me personally probably the oldest one here. I don't. My recovery is still good. Even pushing hard as fuck. Joel gets sore. Joel gets sore. Like, we'll talk about the next day. Man, I'm fucked up. I'm like, really? I don't feel that bad. Like, I feel sore, but not fucked up, you know?
Yeah. It makes me wonder, you know, like me and Paul do the same training, right? Rep for rep, weight for weight. And it's like, do I get more sore because I'm like contracting the muscle more efficiently than him? Or is he just that much higher than me as far as recovery?
Yeah, that's like hard to tell. Yeah. It's like you could be getting more muscle fibers firing from one guy to the next.
That would suck.
I think training I think training gets harder and harder to recover from the bigger you get, because the shit I used to do I can't do now that I'm bigger. And Joe, you've added, keep in mind, when you and Paul started training, Paul was a lot bigger than you. So Paul's been bigger for a long time, whereas you've added so much tissue in the past few years. So I do feel like the more muscle you have, you contract harder, you know what I'm saying? You lift heavier, and it just takes a bigger toll on your entire, you know, CNS, right? The stronger and bigger you get, you know, so the recovery just gets harder, you know? And then like you said about sleep, when you add 100 pounds of muscle in fucking 4 years, your sleep probably taking a step back, you know?
Bro, when my barber met me, when I was talking to him today, I was 145 pounds and I was 18 or 19. I'm 280 pounds. Like, damn, dog, I literally duplicated myself when I'm sitting in this damn chair.
Yeah.
So I feel that shit. Trust me, I feel it.
So, all right, let's go back to Trever.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was the main difference between your? Do you want to mention your old coach's name, or you rather leave that Vague.
I don't know. It was I worked with Chris Santa Maria. He's a good coach around here. He's a local coach. That's kind of why I met up
Where
with
do you
him.
live, dude?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay, that's where I was from.
Yeah.
The voice.
The accent. You kind of hear the accent, yeah.
Like kind of
like that 70s show.
Hell yeah! I was just about to say that.
You know Fez?
Of course.
All right. So, what changed the most between the previous coach and Cameron? Because Cameron been getting some good success lately.
Cameron's been. It's just
He's been killing
much
it.
attention to detail. Like there's nothing left off the table. Like we account for my training volume. Even that was huge this prep. Like how much I'm training and kind of like we brought down my sets. So I literally almost zero strength loss through this whole prep. It was crazy. Like I still kept pushing like 10 plate hack squats like for like 10, 12 reps. Like it was crazy. So I don't know how we kept my strength, but very minimal strength drop. We just kept a look at everything and just attention to detail. Check-ins every week.
Banded or not banded?
I use bands, honestly. Like my knees do.
Yeah.
That's good.
And you can't just say 10
Oh my
plates.
God. Damn.
Leave it at that.
Podcast over. Podcast over. I
Fucking light heavyweight.
It's been real.
10 plates
I've
on
tried
that
every
hack.
other way, but I had zero knee pain this whole prep, which I had knee pain the whole off season. Zero knee pain.
We're not hating on the bands. We're hating on the fact you said 10 plates without saying with bands.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Clear.
Yeah.
Our egos were just like, we can't let this stand.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I was doing hack squats yesterday with my boy Mal. He's the classic pro. And then we started going up. We get to like 6. Then he's like, yo, let's throw the bands on there. Now, usually
Depends on what bands you're using. Like,
yeah,
I'm not using the thick ones. I'm using like the inch, like just a little off the bottom, but
a thin one, yeah.
yeah.
But usually, if somebody would have told me that while I'm squatting, I would have thrown them across the gym. But this day in particular, my knees were hurting, so I was like, you know what?
Yeah. So
I'm gonna just let it rock.
Right.
I'm gonna let it rock.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, as much shit as I talk about the band and stuff, my knees felt fucking great. I gotta be honest. The only thing is that I'll see like 16-year-olds with 10 plates on with like 3 bands, and they got the big green one, and they got, so that's a little different, and they're doing half reps and yeah. At that point, that's ego lifting. Now, if you're using it for the reason why Mel used it. And it does feel awesome. And my legs are crazy, so I got a crazy pump. And we still only put like 7, 8 plates, right? Which we could do that without the band, right? So that did work. You know what I'm saying? So I will say that they're the time and place where it does feel great. I just be talking shit about it.
Yeah. But then if you throw some intensifiers into it, like pause sets, different shit, it also kills your legs with the bands on it. You know what I mean?
It does. It does.
So I mean, bands do work.
Everything to your advantage if you can. Like,
I do believe it works. Like the tension, you can keep it right on the quad. I think it relieves your knees. But anytime someone tells me how much they did,
you
that's why I throw that bitch in there. Oh, that's all fine and dandy, brother. But
when I put it up on Instagram, I think
it's like doing on the moon. It doesn't count.
No, the best one was somebody, I forgot who it was, I can't remember, but somebody posted it and then tagged me or my friend. I forgot who tagged, but he posted it and he was trying to hide the band. So he had the camera angle low. And I see it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yo, he got how much places? Like, that's like 8 places. I'm like, huh. I'm looking at him like, I don't think he could do that. And I commented, I'm like, yeah, why are you not showing the camera? Why are you not showing the full angle? He said, oh, no reason. It's just that's the only angle I had. I said, okay, do you have bands on there? He was like, oh, I can't remember. I said, that memory loss. He got that memory loss going.
Nah, he must have smoked like you.
I gotta say, the pullovers with dumbbell and a band are amazing for the lats.
Yeah.
You ever tried them? I learned them from John Meadows. You lay on the bench and you do dumbbell pullovers.
You know who I saw that from? It was actually Compton. I saw that from Compton way back.
Oh yeah.
Compton, like he used to do some interesting movements, but what I liked is it would always be heavy. So it was hardcore. So it made because back then I didn't like the fancy shit. But if you go heavy enough, I'm like, yeah, that's because he would do a lot of machines, but he would load that bitch up. Like the Smith machine incline, he was doing 5 plates on there, bro. Like Compton was a beast,
Strong.
man. Compton was a
Yeah.
beast. I'm gonna actually have him on. I'm gonna have him on Sunday, I think, with Justin. Oh well, he is Justin, but the other Justin Wyatt. I feel like they would get along well. They're both like.
Can I be there and just fangirl?
Of course, yeah, of course. So we can have so we got Justin, Stu, me. That's 4. Who else wants to be on? We got 2 more.
I'm usually on Sunday.
Oh, so Zayd and Paul got a fight.
Wow,
Fight. I'll come to Newark. Fuck it.
Well, then I think we had 7. I think we had like 8 guys for the Olympia episode. No.
Yeah, it was kind of a clusterfuck though.
I can sit out.
That's what now.
I'll sleep in.
We'll figure it out then. But Justin does talk a lot. So when you have Justin on, you don't want to have too many guys. Like he gets into his stories.
Get him going, bro.
Editing staff. I gotta pay overtime for editing.
Get
staff.
that shit out.
Let me see. I feel like today will be a good episode for questions. How you guys feel about questions?
Do it.
The question segment
for Trever before we move on.
Yeah.
Any more for Trever?
Yeah,
I asked him. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask him more about prep. I was hoping to have Cameron on. He said he was down if he finishes, I think, his client work, but Cameron got like 100 clients, so he probably ain't finishing that.
Like I stayed at his house that last 2 weeks out from the show, and he was just in his cave, like nonstop, like 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Like,
do you live in
like
Dallas?
3 times a day? Yeah, it was like, it was nice.
Yeah, he's not gonna finish it. You know what the good thing is that now that the podcast is getting more traction, I feel like I'm getting a lot more questions, but like not the stupid questions, because some of the questions just be I don't want to answer them. All right. What's from Carlos Diras? What's one piece of advice you would give your younger self? Stu is still his younger self, so we're gonna skip him. Let's start with Trever, since you're the guest.
Yeah. Honestly, like, take more rests. Like when I first started, I was doing like 6-7 days a week, like some 2 days, like, and I made the least progress. Like when I started with Cam, it was like sometimes we'd take 3 days off a week. Like just take your rest, recover, make sure everything's growing, and like do this for the long run. Like you don't have to trash your knees right away doing barbell squats and deads and like play it smart. So, use the tools. Yeah, use all your tools. Why not?
When you're in your early 20s, you know how kids could be out like in a cold and then they have booger down their nose and shit, but they won't wear their jacket. And you're like, aren't you cold? They're like, no. Like they don't feel it, right? So when you're like in your early 20s, that's how you are about training. Like your fucking boogers could be coming out while you're deadlifting. It's
more like you don't get hangovers in your early 20s, but you can recover quicker.
but like also like you don't understand when enough is enough. Like you don't have that, because you don't feel it. Like my knees didn't hurt yet, but it's gonna hurt if you keep doing that shit. But you just don't feel it. Like I could be in the gym 3 hours and I'm like, I'm fine. I could just keep going. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Right.
100%, yeah.
Stu could probably squat 7 plates if he put it on the bar, but he's not going to do it because if we can't get big legs with 5 plates,
bro, I couldn't do that nowadays, and it sucks. Like,
come on, just let me tell the story.
I used to do like crazier stuff in the gym, but like, man, shit just hurts now. Well, I'm the youngest guy in this whole group, and I just like shit just hurts all the time, especially my knees.
Yeah. You're not alone, bro. I'm in pain all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm starting to think?
I miss being like 21, 22 when you could just do that if you wanted to, even if you didn't need to. Like now I just can't,
On an empty stomach too.
No, like what it is that even if you're young in age, what it takes for you to get that size, what you have to do to get there, it still takes a toll. So even if you've been bodybuilding for 5 years, You get up to fucking 300 pounds, the amount of weight you have to lift, the amount of food you have to eat, it still takes the toll, you know. So, but at least you're young enough that you won't have anything probably permanent or chronic, you know, because you're very smart, even though you might not look it. You're very
Thank
smart,
you.
knowledgeable, and like you're gonna make the proper changes. And just overall in bodybuilding, I think we're smarter as a community. We understand recovery. We're not gonna be like, yo, you're a bitch. If you don't go 7 days a week and fucking do 3 hour leg workouts, you're a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now we're like, you're probably actually smart if you do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just a better, more knowledgeable
There's
community.
so much more knowledge out there now. Like you don't have to be hardcore and
Exactly.
barbell bench press, like some barbell squat. Like I haven't barbell benched in like 6 years, but I can probably incline 4,
Yeah.
pretty good, 10 reps. Like, but
With
I don't.
a band or without a band?
I can do no bands. Yeah, probably no bands, but I don't like.
Bro, barbell bench press.
Risk to reward. Like,
Bro, for years I would hear guys like Hani, don't barbell bench press. I'm like, yo, you guys are pussies. For like, you're not gonna get hurt doing bench press. What the fuck are you talking about? And I just kept benching, and it took me actually being mature enough to realize that, like, make the correlation. Right? Why do my shoulders hurt? Right? I was benching almost every week, so I couldn't tell until I didn't bench because my shoulders got so bad that I couldn't bench. And when I stopped benching, I was like, no shoulder pain. Then I went back to it. Let me just try it because they feel so good. The instant I do fucking anything, even 3 plates, anything 3 plates and up, my shoulders are out for like a month. So I'm like, I kept trying it. You know, take like 3 months off. Let me just try it. Maybe just do two plates. Every time I bench, pain. Then I'm like, so this whole time the bench was the only thing bringing me pain. I can go 4 plates on incline if I wanted to, right? No pain. I can go. I did a 170 dumbbells, no pain. It's literally just a flat dumbbell press. So now it makes sense.
Can
It's
you
just like,
do like
why?
a flat
Why?
machine press?
yeah.
Like
I could do like flat hammer strength, flat Arsenal
Yeah.
press,
I
no
can do that
pain.
shit too. I haven't flat benched in forever too, because like you said, like every time I did it, something would just start to go wrong. This was like
For what?
probably 2 or 3 years ago now. So I just
Yeah,
stopped, you know. But
and
it's
let's be
weird how
real.
like the incline stuff is generally more ergonomic, and then there's certain flat machine presses that are just like, you know, they just work better.
And when was the last time you did a flat barbell bench and was like, yo, I got a crazy upper chest pump. My shit is so pumped right now. I can't wait to go take a fucking selfie. Like, that's not
Never.
really a thing. You would just
Like,
lift it and be like, yo, I
yeah.
fucking pressed 4 plates. I'm so happy. You know, but it wasn't really
That is
doing
pretty
much.
hype though. I think a lot
Yeah.
of the way that a lot of bodybuilders bench press too, like they'll have their spine just flat on the bench. They don't have any arch. Like they're not really doing anything to protect their shoulders like they should. Like that's just it's really bad. And like I used to bench more like a power lifter too, where I had more of an arch and like shoulders back and down, all that shit. And I've still got the issues eventually. So
And Bo, but like, do you have the mobility to do that? I can't get an arch. I
not
don't know how to get an
anymore.
arch.
Yeah, not really.
I can't really get an arch. What was the original question? Okay.
Hmm.
All right. What who's next? Let's
Oh
go
yeah, what's one thing you tell your younger self?
yeah. You want to
Does it have
go?
to be bodybuilding related?
No, he didn't preface that. So
Mm,
we gonna just go off. Yeah. No fentanyl.
yeah, that would have been a
Stay
one I
away.
would skip. No, really
Let's go
though, like
Stu.
no DMP. Yeah, that's a
Oh
stupid drug
man.
and
EMP.
shouldn't use that.
Yeah. It's just like how does it help you? That's what I'm trying to figure out because I'm like, okay, I do believe I'm burning more fat, but I feel like complete shit. Like what if I just use the energy I'm fucking losing because the DMP is leaking all this energy out of my body? What if I just use that energy to actually just do cardio?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
did I just be?
I feel like the only time that I would ever use it is like, let's say I have to get in shape for a show in like 5 weeks, and I am like where I'd want to be at 12 weeks out, you know? Um, like fuck, you gotta hurry up and speed the process along. But like if you plan your shit properly, you shouldn't ever have to do that. Um,
why would you ever be in a situation where you're like just like hanging out and but oh shit, 5 weeks, I gotta jump into Cal Pro, you know what I'm saying? That's like that seems like it just seems like bad planning, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, you know,
Justin
unless
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I guess unless there's like a contract, money or injury,
Yeah.
like let's say Branch Warren tears his quad 6 months before the Arnold, and then it takes him 3 months to recover, and then another month of rehab, and then he's 8 weeks out, and then Branch is like, you know what? Let me focus with this DMP. But I got to be honest, I don't
Branch
even think
just
he
do
was
3 hours of cardio though. So
of course. I don't even think like the DMP would help though. I still feel like the look is going to be shitty.
yeah, it's
don't.
not going to be what it could be because like you can basically run that stuff up until like maybe 2 weeks out. Because like what people don't realize is like you get so flat and you can't train and everything, but it also makes you retain a ton of fluid because you are losing fat really quickly. But there's like a ton of inflammation and like a lot of like the fat cells that used to have body fat stored in them are like they're filling up with water now. So you just look like this blurry, shitty, flat mess. And it's a total mind fuck. And you have to give it yourself time for that to like clear out and for your body to actually, actually look good afterwards. And probably at least 2 weeks to be safe.
I think so. When I took it, I would look in the mirror and I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I'm like, am I flat? Am I fat? Am I watery? Like what's going on? You almost don't, you can't even tell what's going on. Your weight hasn't changed, or maybe it's gone down, but you're looking at yourself and you're like, what the fuck am I, I don't know. It's not worth it. I do know a lot of people do use DMP. Cause I have a really good like connect for it. And a lot of people I know do a lot of people I know do use it. But I gotta be honest, these people I don't think they need it, bro.
I would never use that shit. I would never ever use DMP. No matter if I would probably be last place, I'll be okay with it. Just never DMP, bro. That's too far,
I don't think
it could kill you, man. It could fucking kill you. The lethal dose is so close to the effective dose. And
but you know
take
what?
just a little bit, you will melt from the inside out. Like we talk about it like it's nothing, but it's super fucking dangerous. It's one of those drugs like you have to let up the fire. Let up the pill to make sure it's real. If it blows up, that means it's real DMP.
It's actually pretty clutch in the wintertime.
So,
I know you guys.
I'm not swallowing that shit.
You live in Wisconsin,
9
Trever,
hours
right?
of cardio, no problem.
Wisconsin. Yeah, it gets pretty cold there.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty handy if you diet in like the winter time.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember walking around in like a t-shirt. It was probably 35 degrees out when I was taking that stuff back in college. I was just like walking to the gym in the middle of the winter time. I felt totally fine.
Taking DMP in college is wild, bro. That's wild. But like I do agree with Zaid, right? But I will say, this probably gonna sound like bad. It's probably gonna sound bad, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I feel like I've seen people do like a lot more than what they should be doing, and they were fine. Now, most people will probably die if they did that, but I have seen people push the envelope, and for whatever reason, we're fine. I'm not gonna say how much they took, but
with all drugs, like so everyone can tolerate a certain amount better. Some people get gyno off 400 milligrams of test, and some people can put 1,500 and are fine. And just it's all genetic. Like genetics don't just go into like how fast we build muscle. It's like how fast we recover, and it's crazy. So
I think because on this podcast we keep it so honest. I think people would believe it if we just say like it's not worth it. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Just,
I feel like
have some fucking foresight. Don't try to jump into a show at 5 weeks out and be like, yeah, let's see what we can do. You're not going to look that good. If you're serious about this stuff, you should be planning like your year in advance. I was just trying to pull up the pro schedule to figure out what I'm doing this year. And it's like, I'm not going to be on stage for like 5 months. So
you got some time. All right. What would you tell your younger self, Joe?
When you start test, understand It's just a test, bro. Stop looking around.
Yeah, that first cycle is different, bro. That first cycle is different, bro. I was having sex with some girls that I definitely wouldn't even look that direction.
Bro, I thought you were about to say some guys.
No,
It's just a test, bro. I'm not
it's
gay.
just a test.
It's just a test.
It's not gay if it's a test. No, but I've you know, it just wasn't. It was a little more than I could handle at that time. It's always that first time though. Like after that, you're fine. Or the
like
first time I did.
when I finally pushed up a little bit more, like I always stayed between like 400 and 500. When I pushed up to like 850 this last off season, I could tell it was like there's a new ball game. It was like
light heavyweight doses. Oh,
It's a different ball game.
850, man.
That was a lot for me. Is that
850 is like one shot. That's like one shot in the week.
Yeah, you ever like think like how has taking drugs at various times like affected my personal life and my relationship? Like, because if you like think back over the many years that we've probably all been doing this stuff, it's like, man, what was that me or like, whew, it really makes you wonder, like, how would your life look different?
Test, it was always
it was
the
for
test,
sure.
It was the trend, it was the no carbs, it was like all of this shit, you know.
The test will
always
test you, dog.
like nowadays, after doing it so long, the only time that's a factor is during prep when the food is low. But back then, it was everything, bro. I still look back to some of the shit I've done, and I'm like, yo, that was the trend. That was 100% the trend. That wasn't me. You know, it just wasn't me. All right,
pay your debts.
I look around my room sometimes. I'm like, that was the trend for sure.
Fucking hole in the wall.
That was so funny, dude. I never got trend rage. Trend never affected my mind like in that way.
That weed, bro, that cannabis, you smoke it away.
I feel like if you're a person, you're gonna be chill. Like I just shut down like emotionally. Like I'm not a crazy emotional person, so I just get less emotion.
It's robotic, huh?
It's like, hold on 1 second. Wait, Zayd, on 2 grams of trend, you didn't feel it?
No, not really. Dude. I was the same guy I am today.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. I would have tested that. That dosage. that must not be real.
But you know what's funny?
Sure. I was coughing each time.
That's what everybody said about Eric. They were like, no, it couldn't have been real. I'm like, oh, it's real. It's definitely real.
I think at some point, bro, your body does not absorb that shit. After a gram, maybe 1200, it's
there's no way.
Down. No way. It's just
if your body was absorbing 5 grams, like Eric, you said 5.4. If your body was absorbing 5.4 grams of test, I don't even know what the fuck would happen to you. Like that's impossible. Your body can't process that shit.
Break down that when you shoot it in, like just breaking down that spot, I feel like would be a bit.
Yeah.
The inflammation systemically had to be so fucking bad.
How long it would take to absorb, and
that was crazy, bro. I shouldn't have.
Think about this. Think about this, right? I remember that prep with Eric. I was like half coaching him. I wasn't doing cycle, but I was half coaching his diet, right? And I remember at some point he couldn't lose any weight, and he's like, "Yo, I just can't drop any weight." I'm like, "Okay, think about this. They're using what oil is that? What's that oil they use? Grapeseed oil, right? If you got 1 tablespoon of grapeseed oil has 15 grams of fat, how many tablespoons of grapeseed oil you think are in 30 cc's? Quite a bit.
No, it's 2. It's 15 milliliters is a tablespoon. So if you're doing 30 cc's a year, that would be 2 tablespoons of oil a day. I know what you're talking about. Like, you're getting calories from like the carrier oil. It's not significant. And you actually do the math. It's like it's not.
But like the amount of inflammation you get in your body is trying to fight off all this test in your body. You're just so inflamed that I don't know. I feel like you're getting less out of it. You know, I feel like you would.
Yeah.
Huh? I feel like you would get bigger off of less because Eric he like these days he's barely training. He's like no diet whatsoever. No, like he's just like a regular guy. And I think he looks almost the same that he did when he was bodybuilding hardcore, right?
Still a big
I
ass
thought
guy,
that the
right?
other day when I saw him.
Oh, you saw him in person?
No, so he did a video and I saw what he looked like, and I was like, dude, he looks better.
Is he tall?
That's what I'm saying. Well,
Is he, like,
yeah.
taller?
He's my height. He's 5'11", bro.
Oh wow, okay.
So he looks bigger in person, right? So my thing is, if you look the same as you looked on 5 grams of test, what what does that tell you? That I mean, it wasn't really, and like I said, it's not even like he's training hard. He just kind of gets in there, gets a pump, and walks out. He works all day, so it's like I don't think it was really doing anything. I think it was really taking you backwards, if anything.
It's just you're not absorbing all of that stuff, so you're wasting your money quite literally.
Yeah, literally. All right. Did everybody go?
I didn't go. Oh.
You didn't go? Oh, my bad.
No.
Go ahead, Zay.
No worries. The best advice I would give myself is train harder. That's number one. I always went for reps, never went for heavyweight, because I always trained alone growing up. I trained lighter. So that's something I would definitely tell myself: train harder and heavier, and don't do crazy cycles for sure. It's of course we had to do it to understand that it doesn't work, and that's two main things. And like Joe said, test is just test. So I would redo a lot of my thinking when it comes to the dating world, and all that shit. Yeah, but these are the more I noticed, the more I'm stable emotionally, the more results and gains I make, So I didn't realize that when I was in my 20s, because I was all over the place mentally,
Yeah.
I just wanted to be better, but I didn't know how to do that, Yeah,
for sure.
So definitely train harder, no crazy cycles, and stay cooler and chill out.
Mine would be the opposite of Zaid. Maybe
more crazy cycles.
No.
He said it's not just the test. Train stupid as fuck.
I would maybe.
What did you say earlier? The answer is the opposite.
Yeah, the opposite is always right. No, but yeah, he said train harder. You said,
yeah.
I would say maybe not train so hard. Definitely not as heavy, but not as much volume. It was just too much. It was too much weight, too much volume, not enough rest. Just getting too caught up in this idea of outworking everybody, Now some people need that mindset because some people don't naturally work that hard, right? So if the clients who you push, and the clients who you have to pull back. So it was always more is better. Less isn't better, more is better. So more weight, more volume, more everything, more drugs, more sex, more girls, more money, and all of that. Even though like it does make sense, but there's a limit. What are you willing to do to get the money? You willing to rob somebody? What are you willing to do?
Gay for pay?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? How far are you willing to go to get that money? How far are you willing to get big muscles? How far are you willing to get this girl? How far are you willing to get back at this girl? So everything was so extreme. And then the gear didn't help. I wasn't ready to take gear when I took gear. I was 19, and I tried to do it when I was 18, but the guy sold me fake shit. So I shot my leg and the shit swelled up like this. But then my dumb ass did it for another 4 weeks anyways, just to make sure, and it wasn't real. So then when I officially started it, my brain
just
wasn't
to make sure.
Yeah, just
the other leg, just to make sure.
You spent a lot of money on that.
I did. I saw the guy at the gym too, and he acted kind of nervous. So I'm like, once I thought, I'm like, so he knows it was fake if he's nervous, So I went ahead and had a conversation with him that day, and that's one of those things that I said extreme, right? So I couldn't just let it go. I had to kind of like, make him feel something, and make him feel uncomfortable, But everything was extreme, way too extreme in my early 20s, and now I think I'm the opposite. I'm just, nobody could do anything to make me upset. Like, I don't think anybody could make me upset unless maybe a girl. That's about it. But anybody else couldn't. So don't be so extreme in life. Just relax. Life is short. Just enjoy the ride. We all gonna be dead anyways. Might as well make it a nice experience.
Just don't take DMP when you're doing it.
Exactly.
All 2 grams of train.
I'm not gonna tell younger guys not to take gear, but I guess
just have some sort of guide.
Have a goal.
Yeah.
I think most people are like, especially like the weird gym cell culture with all like the 19 through 22-year-olds. You know, the broccoli heads who are like swarming in our gyms and they're all influencers now. It's like where are you going with this? What happens when you turn 25, 28? Like, are you still going to be here? Are you still going to be training? Like, you're not going to be pro bodybuilders. Like, look at you, you know, what's the long term? I don't think their brains even process that far in the future yet.
No.
You know, that's normal in your early 20s, but you're making irreversible decisions, which is unfortunate. It's the rare person who knows what they want at that age. I think some of us probably fall into that category, but it's not common.
No, it's not common. All right, see what we got. You got a message by he offers 100K to fly you out. Fuck it. Let's answer the weird questions too. You get messaged by an oil prince in Dubai. He offers you 100K to fly you out and muscle worship you. So it's not gay for pay, just watches you pose. You taking that 100K, Stu?
Well, here's the thing. If it's, where did you say it was, Dubai?
Yeah.
It's I don't know if you heard about the stories and shit about those models that get flown out there, like all that stuff. Like, they're not just, you know, giving them the girlfriend experience or doing muscle worship, bro. There's really debauched shit that happens out there. Because if you have like billions, trillions of dollars, maybe like these guys do, it's like, what can money not buy? Like, let's find out. Yeah, so like he's not just going to be looking at you.
What's next?
Yeah.
He said, "I need you to pose for me with this oil. No homo though."
Here's another 100K.
Yeah, let's just skip that question.
But yeah, I'm doing it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna do it.
For 100,000, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, okay.
And who knows? 100,000 might just be like the starting point. You know, sky's the limit.
Maybe just put it off at 100K.
He said, "This is your base salary."
I'm going to Dubai in 2 weeks, so let me know.
Hey, let us know, man. What the fuck?
Fly over there.
Any takers?
All right. If a girl at the gym DMs you, quote, we should get a
shit that never happened for 500, please.
If a girl at the gym DMs you, we should get a leg day sesh in. What does that mean? You know exactly what that means. Y'all know exactly what that means. Girls don't. Session. I feel like girls don't actually. I mean, she might be like, "Yo, I want to train her," but if a girl says that, more than likely she's interested. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna just say that just for fun. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, just be straight then. You know, just pussy up front and payment for service.
Before we train, make sure it's good.
I'm pretty sure my girlfriend doesn't watch these, so I'm okay.
But see, with girls, you never know, because I just assume no girl would want to watch this kind of podcast, but they do want to. I think girls like to hear what guys say amongst each other, because there was times I would walk in the apartment and then see my girl watching it, and I'm like, whoa, why is she watching the podcast? You, bro. She's not watching. Yeah, she wants to see
catch that shit with that the big lady.
No, she hasn't watched recently. I don't think she's watched recently.
Good.
I don't think so. Who the fuck knows? All right, just a more serious question. That's funny. All right, what training styles have worked best for the guys on the podcast? Let's start with Trev.
Yeah, kind of like what we did this past year. Brought down my training volume to 1 to 2 sets, one top set, one back off set, 4 to 6 movements, probably for the whole day. Like if I had legs, it'd be with curls, adductors, squat, leg press, leg extension, and keep it simple. So,
Shit, look at this one. Okay. Oh, my bad. Yeah. All right. Did you guys hear that on my phone or no?
It said, "Hey, look at this one."
let's go. Look at Paul's cat taking a nap.
Oh,
that's flex, right?
That's flex.
that's perfect.
All right, Paul. What do you got for the
me?
Question?
It's always heavy in volume. Always heavy, always volume.
When you say volume, like
volume meaning 2 to 3 working sets each time.
How many exercises?
Just about 5 to 6.
To be honest, bro, do you guys really plan that, or you just go by what you feel?
go by feel.
Yeah.
You know, because earlier I said
there'll be days we go in there and fucking somebody's not firing, somebody's not feeling right. We'll do one heavy set, a back off set, and call that 2 working sets. You know what I mean? Opposed to doing just three straight heavy sets.
There was a video. I think it was Jay Cutler ripped to shreds. I think it was that one, right? And he's doing shoulder press, and then he's like, "I don't count my reps, you know, but I'm pretty sure that was like between 8 to 10, but I don't count it." And I remember watching that, you know, as like a teenager. I'm like, I don't believe him, because at that age, everything will be planned. Every set, every rep, every exercise will be planned. So I was like, I don't know if I believe that. How could you not know your reps? I do not count reps whatsoever. I have an idea. It's usually 10, at least 10, but I don't count at all. I usually watch my own videos if I record it and post it. I'm like, okay, that's how much I did, but there's zero counting. I know how strong I am, so I know how to gauge it, and I know what feels good, but there's no idea how much reps I do each set. It's usually probably around 10 to 12 or 8 to 12, but there's no planning. I don't know what exercise I'm gonna do. Maybe the first one I know. I don't know how many. Like literally, I said 3 exercises, but there's days I do 5. You know, if I'm not getting tired, nothing hurts, I feel good, energy is high, I might do 4 or 5. I might do 3. If I feel like shit, there's days I've done two exercises. Literally, you know, if I feel really shitty and everything's hurt.
And I think that's for me, like in prep, I did the same exact thing every single time. And I think that's what accounted to me keeping my strength the whole time. Like my recovery was on point because I did the same exact thing. I tried to match or beat my reps every time. So I didn't have to think about what I was doing for that day. It was already pre-planned and I knew what I had to do. And, yeah, it just paid off. It kept my fullness too. Like I feel like I really kept fullness in my legs and arms this time just by keeping accountable with the same reps and not just doing 25 reps this set and then next one I'm going to do 10 and stuff like that. So
do you have to dial back how much volume you're doing, or you just keep?
I would just cut a set off like towards the end. I would
little.
just put on 1 set on each movement instead of 2, or like, and I started with 3 sets probably at the beginning of the prep and then just dialed stuff back and just really paid attention to fullness with my training too. So
yeah, Cameron, I know Cameron is big on recovery. He talked to me about that. He believes that I'm just not recovering in prep, and I would have to agree with him.
It was probably as soon as I started with them, we did a 5-month health phase. It was brutal, but I was so unhealthy after the US days because we were just pushing sups and pushing fat burners and everything, and my blood pressure was insane. And yeah, we started fresh, cleaned out, and we really paid attention to recovery, and that was a game changer. Like I feel so good. I feel like I could go into an off season right now. I feel like my health markers wouldn't be skewed, honestly, right now. It's just I feel good.
Does he do the health phase right after the show?
Yeah, we're in a health phase right away. So
that's what Chris Tuttle does. That That's what Jordan told us when he was on.
Just 4 to 6
Yeah.
weeks, pretty much. Well, we're gonna check blood markers in like 3 to 4 weeks, and then probably start up the off season in January. Like you can start right away if we're good. So
Yeah. Compton
How much
usually
did you weigh for the show, for finals?
I was 201 to 201.6 all day. Like we paid attention to visuals on my weight, so we literally kept my weight the same. Like we knew what I looked like at this weight. But that week, like Monday and Tuesday, I was 208 Monday, 206 Tuesday, and then I had to make weight at 198.2 for Thursday. And then with diuretics, my weight just stayed down to 201, so we just kept it there. Yeah.
Cool.
if you didn't have to make a weight, where do you think you would have the lowest you would have had to go?
I would have probably been 208 to 210.
Damn. Oh yeah.
208 probably. Right. Probably be right there.
So you pulled 10 pounds off yourself with a water cut and diuretics?
Yeah, we cut a lot. Cut water hard. I was doing like I fasted the whole day Thursday to make weight at 2 p.m. Sauna 4 times, and we probably did a whole diazide Wednesday into Thursday.
I fucking hate weight class bodybuilding.
Yeah,
that's
the worst part. Like cutting water and weight.
Wait,
I was out of it.
You did a whole diazide spread out, or you did a whole diazide every day from Thursday?
It was like one morning, one at 5 p.m. and then one in the next morning, and then it was all spread.
So when you say one, you mean like apart? Okay,
like a quarter at a time. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought he was on that.
Oh yeah, strip you down like.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Who didn't answer the question? Let's go, Joe.
So me and Paul are obviously training partners, but when it comes to what I feel is the best that's ever worked for me is I'll typically do 2 compounds and then the rest like isolation stuff. But on the compounds, my favorite thing to do is work to a top set, the heaviest weight I'm going to do with the most reps possible, and then walk away. Even sometimes I'll do a back off set, but most of the time, if I give it my all on that top set, that's it. If I do more, I found that my central nervous system is fucked for the rest of the workout. And I actually feel like I'm just beating a dead horse at that point. Mm-hmm. But so in those 2 heavy compounds, I'll do the whole Dorian thing, work up to a top heavy set, walk away. But then the rest, like the isolations, like say like the hammer strength presses and stuff, flies, all that, I'll do 2 to 3 working sets, not really care about going up in weight there, but just find a load that I can fail within like 10 to 12 reps and just keep it there. And for me, I found that I'll recover from that, but I'm also pushing my numbers as far as those compounds, and the rest kind of falls into place. That's my favorite style.
Like that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty spot on. I feel like that's how most pros train nowadays. Most pros aren't going and just hoping, moving some weight and hoping for a decent pump at the end of the, that was the old school way, right? You come in, you just work up sets of 10 the whole way through, you do 10 to 15 reps on every single set until you can't do 10 reps anymore, right? You just keep going up and keep adding weight and keep moving that shit until you can't do anymore. Then you do the next exercise and you do the same shit, you know what I'm saying? So you couldn't really track your progress that way because you're just doing a bunch of reps for a bunch of sets,
What do you think about style? What do you think about Milos' style? Like 5 movements, giant set, pump as much blood in the muscle as possible. Have you ever tried that?
I don't think it would work for me.
I don't know the program.
Yeah, it's like I've watched.
Costs like $5,000, I think, for that.
Personally, if he had me do that, I would pass out. I can't fucking breathe after a set of fucking.
I'd be so pumped.
That's exactly what people say. You remember Jamie the Giant?
Yeah, he would get anxiety before training because he couldn't breathe.
He was like, bro, I can't. I'm jumping. I'm fucking 6'11", and I'm jumping over here, jumping over there, jumping. He's like, I can't do that shit, And I think that's why Regan doesn't train with Milos often, even though they're both in Vegas. It's like, bro, I'm fucking
one
300
plate,
pounds.
like we're gonna do 20 reps for like, and then go right into a squat and then go right into another squat.
I think for me that would be counterproductive if I'm being completely honest. You know,
Yeah.
Milos is a very smart guy.
At what point is forcing that much more blood in going to be that much more beneficial? It's like you're just kind of maintaining a pump after a certain point. You're doing shit form. You're not recruiting shit.
And say just
And
recruiting like slow twitch muscle fibers at that point, like you're
yeah,
building an endurance athlete rather than a fast twitch muscle fiber athlete.
You
trying
see,
to
like
think of anybody who wasn't already a freak who did what he told them to and became a freak, you know? Like,
well, like when you watch Samson train, Samson does his own training. You know,
Yeah,
he trains pretty basic bodybuilder training. You know, I don't know. I think things like that have a place. Like when when you have injuries,
yeah.
that's really it. But okay, like when it comes to a pump, right? I think a pump is just an indicator. I think it's a great indicator when you get a pump because you're getting good blood flow. You know, the nutrients are in the muscle and you know that you're working the area that you're targeting. If you do a curl and you get a pump in your biceps, that's a good indicator that I'm training biceps properly. If you get a pump in your lower back, then you're bullshitting, right? But I believe that's just an indicator. I don't believe your workout should be strictly dictated off your pump. That because think about it. I could go take a hike right now, like go to Runyon Canyon, go on a hike, and I get a crazy glute pump. Does that mean my glutes are gonna grow? Not really, and probably not at all. So I don't think pump can just be like this workout is just dependent only on pump. You know, when Jay says like I train for a pump, I don't think he means it literally. Like Jay was still training heavy.
He still
Jay was,
put
you know what I'm
full
saying?
plate for 10 reps and like he's still trained like body.
Yeah. He's saying that by the end of his workout, he had a crazy pump, you know, but he's basically saying that's a good indicator that I had a good chest workout. He's not saying that that's the only only, you know, the only metric I have of seeing what kind of workout I have. Is just a good indicator. If you're done training chest and you have no blood in your chest, maybe you're using shoulders or the wrong muscle. So that's just an indication, but it doesn't mean that if I get a pump that I had a great workout. I can get a pump doing fucking push-ups. I could do push-ups for 30 minutes and have a crazy pump. I don't believe I'm gonna have a chest like Joe if I'm just doing push-ups for 30 minutes. But the pump was insane, you know?
and I think
So
Jay really predicated a lot of his like even his prep time on like staying full during training. And that's one of the ways that he was able to like because he wasn't like a nasty, dry, shredded kind of physique. He was big and full and round, and that's what made him impressive, right? So if he loses that when he's prepping, it's like he's in trouble. Like that's his whole physique gone.
mhm.
I think like people try to focus on like one thing or the other. I think there's like three boxes you have to check with training, and it's really simple. You have to use adequate load, so mechanical tension. That's box number one. You have to
Talk a little
create.
bit louder. My fault.
Okay,
Can you talk a little bit
better,
louder because yeah,
better.
you're
All
making a
right.
good point. I want you
So
to be
there's
heard.
three things. Mechanical tension. You have to use sufficient load on your movements. You have to break down muscle tissue. So that's going to be dependent on how much weight you're moving and also how much volume you're doing. So check those two boxes. And then the third one is kind of like getting a pump, or in the technical sense, it's called cell swelling, which is like all the inflammation stuff. And that's going to basically draw a bunch of blood into the area, and all of the various growth factors and stuff that come with that are going to help you grow. But if you're checking all those three things adequately each session, like, and you know, train with enough frequency that you're able to recover and do that for long enough, it's like you're kind of good. And I think you can max out each one of those too. Like once the box is checked, you can't check it anymore. So, you know, doing a giant set of 5 movements on that third one, I'm flipping you off now because it's the third finger I put up. It's like, what's the point? It's like you're still just putting more blood in there, putting more blood in there. Would you be any better off doing that versus just like, you know, doing a superset and going faster paced and just keeping a pump for an extended period of time? I don't really know if you would.
I don't think so. Yeah, Joe said like when he would do that that heavy like loading set, right? Sometimes he'll do one and done. And it just makes sense, right? Like, think about this, right? Like, if I go, let's say I pull 5 plates on deadlifts for a set of 15. Oh my God, I'm done. Oh shit. That was a crazy set. If I go hit that bitch again, am I gonna have a bigger back? I don't think so. I think at that point, I just feel like shit and I don't recover for tomorrow. And that's what I did.
That hack squat I did, non-banded, was it fucked me up. Like, and I told Paul, because he said you're gonna do one more set, and I was like, you know what, I'll do a back off set. Stupid ass fucking mistake. Like, I moved the weight, but I felt nothing. I felt numb, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, that was fucking pointless. My knees just hurt more. Like, it was.
Well, you know what you should have done? Did the first top set with the 8 plates, and then add the band, then do the back off set.
I've actually done that too.
That's sort of
It actually works. I did top set bands, and then I'll do the back off set with like half the weight and no bands, and that will mess you up. I can spend more time in the hole with some lighter weight.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good idea, actually, because you're going to be biasing the stretch portion of that movement when you've already got a lot of blood in the muscle. That's actually really fucking smart.
That's a good idea. You're also, Trevor, for the record, we're just busting your balls.
Yeah,
we don't. It's
like that topic that everybody speaks about. So
I know everyone.
He's a national champion. Show some fucking respect.
Hey,
we are too.
Yeah,
I mean,
by the way, guys, did you notice we have Ken, Trevor, and Joe, the overall winners of the whole
year?
The whole
hardest shows.
You're right, the whole year. So we got who do we have left? We got to get on. Who won the
amateur? The amateur Brazilian guy.
Ken won the.
Wait, who won the overall? Was it
heavy?
Brandon. But who won the amateur Olympia? Brandon, right? We had
Brazilian light heavyweight guy.
Oh, he won the overall.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to get him on. We got to get him on. Then you got to have everybody.
I don't think he speaks Spanish. I mean, he speaks English. Yeah.
Yeah, I follow him. It's all Spanish.
Portuguese.
I'll speak a little Portuguese. I could probably make it work.
Hit the pipe.
Yeah,
you know why? You know why? Because there's a bunch of big booty bitches down in Brazil, and he's trying to.
I trains too.
Come on, man.
You
gotta learn a little bit. Did everybody go? Did I leave out Zayd again?
Yeah.
Zayd left out Zayd. He doesn't know what's going
on. Honestly, I'm like Paul. I like heavyweight as much as you can. Keeping the form as best as you can, and so much volume. The most results I've found is when I trained heavy 3 times of the week and 2 times with the newbie machine. That was the best combo I ever had, and I did that for like 4 or 5 months, and my body really changed during those months.
Those things are no joke. Like
dude, too many people underestimate that shit. It's incredible. It brought my arms like at least 2 inches, at least.
Insane. I did
first we got bands, now we got newbie machine. Where is this podcast going?
Do it all. I want to do it all.
I've never used. I don't think I've ever used any.
Try using it on your calves, baby. Maybe it works.
That's a good one, actually. That's a good one. Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Because it will fucking work.
That was a good comeback. I'm not gonna lie.
You try it.
That was a good comeback. Yo, you know what happened? You know why I know it would work? It's like this happens to a lot of people. Like the nerves and like my inner calf like died out or something. I train and I only feel my outer calves. No matter what I do with my knee, I bend my knees, I turn my feet. My outer calves, they keep growing. I have these big ass pointy outer calves. They're like huge now. My inner calves, no stimulation. Like I swear, I never had good calves, but I used to be able to like feel the inner calves.
I heard. Do you wear like knee sleeves or knee wraps?
No, not really. I did. Like, I used to wear these sleeves.
I was hearing a bunch of hype about people who wear a ton of knee wraps and just wrap it up, and they lost a lot of nerves in their calves, and their calves started to atrophy from years of just tight wraps.
You know,
I think that's what happened to Ian. Ian had really good calves when he was an
Could
amateur.
have been. Yeah, and now
Not just Ian. Look at Dennis Wolf.
yeah.
Look at, I mean, it happened to a few people. I was thinking about somebody else too. Dennis James. Like a lot of them kind of just like completely lost their calf. They just completely disappeared. Like younger Dennis Wolf, like, you know, early amateurs and even early pro, it wasn't huge calves, but there was something there, right? Even like, you know, I don't know. I've noticed that happening to a lot of people. You can tell because the outer calf isn't that bad. It's the inner calf that's just completely
thick block going straight up.
Yeah, bro.
There's
It's so
gotta be
annoying.
some kind of like common nerve or something that's getting pinched.
Yeah.
That due to like a common thing that bodybuilders, you know, grow or develop.
Running heavy out in the hole, like it could have been.
I guess they all the guys we named squat pretty heavy, right? Train pretty heavy. Maybe something about squatting heavy or training legs heavy. I don't
Even
fucking
just
know.
having like a developed muscle, you know, it's if it gets big enough, it's going to start impinging on nerves or tendons and hurting and causing issues.
This happens in the lats too.
Yeah, I see it all the time. Yeah.
What happens in lats? Or the atrophy?
Yeah.
No,
like
this happens to the lats as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said Ian, Big Ramy. We saw somebody else.
Have it a little bit.
I can't tell if he's pinching or why it's
like
that.
the insertion goes up because these guys had low inserts, you know.
Oh, Jay Cutler. Remember his lat?
The Christmas tree strays away from the back.
Yeah, where the fuck is that nerve even coming from that it could get pinched like that and start having issues?
Oh, Sergio, did you Sergio against Stu at the Cal? Remember Sergio's back looked a little like
talk about that.
Do these guys all wear like tight ass belts when they train?
That could be something. I don't know.
If you're saying the knee things affect the calves, maybe that pressure against your lower back when you're, you know, guts fully extended is pinching that your back.
I don't know. That's a good question though.
I wonder if those guys can, like, if they start having that atrophy, can they feel like their lat flexing when they're doing back movements the same way? Because I mean, if it's not doing the job right, you probably can't feel shit.
Yeah, I don't think that because like I said, for my calves, I don't feel anything in like the inner area. I think it's just like, I think the shit is dead, you know. But Zayd,
but dude, I didn't mean it in any way, bro. I just meant you can get better doing that. I swear.
The newbies are insane though. Like you said, like one of the best quad pumps I've ever had, and it was with that newbie stuff. They're crazy. If you can get a chance to use one, yeah, I'd recommend it.
I don't even use wired headphones, bro. I can't.
You guys, hey, you guys are the pros, so I'm all ears, man. I'm listening. All right. I didn't answer the question, right? My training is so instinctive that I don't even like to give a general, because you could watch me train for a week and you couldn't put a name on my style of training because it literally depends how I feel, man. I could walk in the gym with sore ass knees and do sets of 20, and then I could walk in and fucking squat the whole gym, you know. So it's really how I feel. The most general way I can give it is similar to most of you guys' style, where I'll warm up, do a top set, and maybe a back down set. But that could be one set, that could be 3 sets, that could be 5 sets, you know. But let's say generally my working sets from 6 to 12, which is a big range. But like I said, my training has the big range. So 6 to 12 working sets, anywhere from 3 to 5 exercises. But I don't like to put labels on it because like Stu said, you can check all the boxes. You can check heavy weight, you can check pump. Every workout, when I finish, I have a crazy pump. I've moved some decently heavy weight. I've done decent volume, whatever that means. So I don't know. I feel like I think Stu said it the best. Just check all those boxes. It doesn't have to be one thing or the other. Check all the boxes and you're good to go. So do enough sets that you can recover from, and heavy enough weight that you can use good form, and you can get at least 8 to 12 reps. You know, I don't believe in like the crazy perfect form that everything has to be locked in and you're only moving one finger at a time. But I say good form. which means we know what good form is. Don't look like a dick while you're working out, but you don't have to be so perfect that you don't have to make it. Don't make it a thing. Like it is bodybuilding nerd that you have to have. You got to outdo everybody and have this perfect form. You can if you can feel it, you can feel it. That's fine.
Like what I said was a generalization of like the perfect workout, but I'll go by feel too. So say I talked about doing that top set for as many reps as possible. If I get 12 to 15 reps on that top set, you bet your ass I'm gonna do another fucking set and go a little heavier and try to fail there. I'm like, fuck, if I'm this strong today, let me push my body because it's allowing me to. So I don't just stick to it and just walk away. It depends on how that set goes.
Or let's say the opposite. Let's say you overshot and then maybe you only got 6 reps. You might do a back down set.
I'll do a back off for sure.
Yeah,
and try to get more reps. What I do is if I don't get at least 8 reps, I won't even count that set. I'll be like, that set never happened. If I got fucking 5 reps, that shit didn't happen. Now I'm gonna start fresh, drop the weight, and then that's my first working set of 10. Then now I'll see if I'll do another set. Like if I can't get 8 reps, I'm like, fuck it. That shit don't even fucking count.
If I undershot that bad and I was shooting for like 12 and I got 6, like I probably am not going to be able to walk if it was like a hack squat. Like
that's like, a big overshooting.
So fucked.
Yeah. But every once in a while, man, like I know when I go on like the health phase, my strength is fine for like 4 to 6 weeks maybe, and then I have this 1 week or 2 weeks that it just drops out of nowhere, boom, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then it kind of creeps back,
clearing out.
Yeah, that EQ is clearing out, and then I kind of hit baseline again, and I start creeping back up, and sometimes depending on how long I'm on the health phase, I might just get back to my normal strength, as long as I'm not sore or not recovering.
Yeah.
Hey, can I make a petition? I hate the term health phase.
Okay, what you want to call it?
We should just call it a cruise, or what would you call it? Just like a I don't know, it's like a come to Jesus moment. No, fuck off. The health phase sounds like you're actually doing something healthy, and it's just like
waiting to blast,
putting a little water on the fire before it completely blows up.
But the way I took it as was like you're focusing on health, right? You're saying like this is the growing phase. So even if you don't grow on the growing phase, well, I guess it wouldn't be a growing phase if you didn't grow on the growing phase. And then the health phase is like my goal is to focus on the health, even if that means
what are you doing to focus on health besides getting your bloods done and not taking gear? I mean, I'm taking all the same supplements that I'm taking when I'm on blast, all the same medications.
Cheat meals and everything too. Like when I was doing the health phase, we actually cut cheat meals and
I usually cut like the protein slightly lower, so I might take away one meal, so the protein might go down by 50-60 grams, and then I'll double up on kidney stuff. I'll double up on astragalus, but I've probably already been doubled up since like the rebound.
Yeah, but like, why aren't you doing that when your body needs it, when you're abusing it?
I am, but I like to take more this time because the food is a little bit lower, and at that point I feel like I'm putting so much shit in my body that I don't want to put that much more in my body. I'm still taking the dose, I guess what would you call it? The recommended dose for those supplements, but I like to take a little bit more because my body is like, I feel like my body is less inflamed already. So I kind of feel like
better.
It does. You know what, Stu? It makes me feel great. That's why I like the health phase. I like calling it the health phase because it makes me feel good. You're like, hey.
That's exactly my point. It's like, it's like coke, dude. That's one of those things, that's one of those words that I just don't like in this industry. It's like, dude, you're fucking throwing caution to the wind 3/4 of the year, and then you're healthy. Like, okay,
let's call it
maintenance.
Cruise.
Maintenance phase.
I like maintenance.
I like maintenance not bad, but maintenance to me it sounds like you can't make gains because sometimes I feel like I still make gains a little bit.
I like cruise because when you go on a cruise, you still get a little fucked up, but you're relaxing, you know.
All you can eat buffet, you know.
What about optimization? Optimization phase.
Optimization. The cleanup.
The cleanup. Yeah.
Cleanup phase.
Oh shit phase.
The boring
Had to
phase.
do something, please.
Yeah, the sore elbows. All right. What do you have? Wait, did I just ask a question or no?
Uh,
This is a huge, like, I feel like this is like a coincidence. What were we just talking about?
when do you
Ah.
go on health phase? Oh shit!
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, who
What's
do you
a
think
health
you are?
phase?
Well, so since we're on the topic, when do you go on the cruise or health phase, and how long does it last? Did we answer this before?
Well, Trevor's doing one right now.
Yeah, I go 4 to 6 weeks, and then just get blood work and see if you're ready to go. If you're not, wait another 4 weeks.
When you get the blood work, what are you looking for? Like what's the range you're looking for? If you see like your ALT, let's say you've been on cruise for 5 months, you know, and then you get your results back and your ALT is at 150. Do you continue to stay on cruise, or do you get tested for hepatitis?
Like what happened with that last one, we did that 5 months.
Hepatitis?
Yeah, basically we did like 3 months for sure health phase, and then we were health phase, and then did our blood work, and I was still like my blood pressure was still like 170 over 110, and I had actual markers that were off. So like my AST, ALT.
How much did you weigh, bro? 170?
Yeah.
Man.
I went up. I tried to do the rebound right after that last show. So like,
okay, so you like kept anabolics in and like pushed your food up.
Pushed it. I pushed like 10 IUs of growth right after.
Yeah, we like that around here.
Right after right after the show for 2 months, and then
we're gonna see on Bison Try like the Nationals winner blood pressure 170 over.
Yeah, 10 IU Trev.
That's why I worked at
Whatever it takes, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, we just did that blood work, and stuff was still skewed. So we're like, let's just go another. I think we did 4 to 6 weeks, and then everything was better, but it wasn't perfect. And they're like, and then we just like, let's just call it and make our adjustments as needed for there. So just because we didn't want to spend too long in a health phase and waste too much, but it was still long.
He didn't want to get too healthy, you know.
You don't want to be too much.
No, but
a little fucked up.
Doesn't that suck? Though?
Always stay a little.
Yeah.
But that kind of sucks when you're ready to go into off season, and you get you always get a little nervous. You're like, okay, let me see the blood work, and then you open that shit up and you see red, and you're like, what's red? And the ALT, the AST.
Always
that fucking AST. It's such a bad feeling because you're ready to get it started, man. You're not trying to give it another month, you know.
A bad report card.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think like if you do your due diligence though, when you're on, blast, whether you're going through a prep or going through an off season, and you keep certain medications and supplements and to control those markers, it's gonna enable you to like do a 6-week break instead of a 10-week break.
I didn't do that before Cam. So
yeah, it's super important. Like this stuff isn't optional, and it will, like, if you actually give a shit about your health, and you should, like, though that 6-week break versus a 10-week break, that adds up over the years, and that's more time that you can be, growing for whatever. And
6 weeks. No wonder you don't want to call it a health phase. 6 weeks is pretty short.
I usually get my bloods done at like a week after I drop to a cruise, and we come off in like 6 years, bro. But I get my blood work done, and cholesterol's like 10 points out of range or something like that. Shit isn't too bad on my bloods nowadays because I'm doing a lot of things just year round. Keep your blood pressure under control. Keep your cholesterol under control. If you're using orals, use support when you're using them. anti-inflammatory stuff like curcumin, or just like pretty basic stuff that's going to go a long way to minimize that downtime.
Super underrated. Yeah. I had no idea before this.
And it's relative, like it's not cheap, but it's, probably adds up to like $5 a day in supplements, maybe like $4 or $5 in supplements. But I mean, it's not optional again.
Not optional.
I gotta be honest, like back in the days, I would get the blood test back. I would actually go give the blood and I would hop on before I even got the results back. So because it would take like 3 days, right? And I would literally, once I give the blood, I would hop back on. And then once I would get it, I'd be like, okay, ALT 200, ALT. Yeah, I'll be like,
takes more. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, creatinine is only 0.2 over. I could live with that, and I would just be back on. Now I'm the opposite.
Makes a test, I'll do 900.
I mean, literally. Yeah, but now I'm the polar opposite. Now I'm like almost like too sensitive to it, to the point that I want it to be perfect. Like I'll be like, oh, it's in range, but it's still too close to the limit. Let me stay off longer. Like now it's like, because you kind of, the older you get, you don't want to take those kind of chances, All right, who went? Let's go, Paul.
What was the question?
It's when do you go on health phase, and how long does it last? Because I mean, people go on different times. Like Trever goes right after the show. Yeah. I think most of us go on like after the rebound.
Yeah, well, this rebound, I did a 10-week rebound into the Cal Pro so close. But I'll probably health phase that for like 6-8 weeks before I get on the prep. But normally other shows, I'll do like a 4 to 6 week rebound, and then a health phase for 6-8 weeks.
Okay, so like normally you would do like your whole prep, then right after the show you'll do a 4 to 6 week rebound.
Yeah, and then do a 6 to 8 week health phase. Okay.
Well, that's kind of a short rebound, no?
I don't like rebounding long. I don't like rebounding long usually.
Okay.
But I think 6 weeks is more than enough for me. For me, anyways.
Okay. I like to do like a 10 to 16 week rebound right after the show.
This is the first time I've ever gone 10 weeks. I'm already over it. I want to stop already. I'm like, fuck, enough.
Nah. Usually when I stop responding as well is when I stop. So that could be anywhere from 6 weeks to like, it's usually about 8 weeks, but it's been as low as 4 weeks before, and it's been as high as 10 weeks, I believe. So, but usually it's about 8 weeks that you kind of start, hyper responding.
I just don't like that feeling of being like puffy post. Like it hurts. My ankles swell up, my hands swell, my face swells.
It does.
I don't like that feeling. I'm feeling just watery right away.
I think a lot has to do with food, how you eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
And especially after your show. I mean, if you're getting a lot of junk, you're gonna swell up.
Yeah.
And if you, just so everyone understands, when we're talking about like keeping some gear in during a rebound, it's like maybe a quarter or a third of what you were doing in your prep.
Speak for yourself, Stu.
16 weeks here.
You're talking about a quarter or a third of the compounds, right?
Yeah, like
compound wise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure, yeah. You're not gonna keep running like Master and shit.
You drop like all the orals out. You take like some Testin Primo or like some Testin EP and just like 750 mgs total, 850 or something. Ride that for 6-8 weeks and then chill.
Right.
Speak for yourself, Stu. But
what the fuck does that mean? What do you say? I will speak for myself. I won't stop.
All right, let's go, Joe. How do you do your health phase?
Pretty much like Paul. Like I'll do, if it's talking about post show, I'll do the rebound first, but I'll keep it the rebound. I don't even do cheat meals. I just keep it clean. It doesn't get me overly watery. If you guys ever see me get watery on a rebound, it's because I have like a Dbol in there to protect my joints coming out of the show. That's the only time that happens. And then I'll come off for 6 to 8
Did
weeks.
you say D-ball?
Mm-hmm.
You take D-ball for your joints?
No, so like it gives you that water, right?
Need some water.
That's awesome, man.
So I get super watery, and so
Yeah.
I don't feel as brittle when I come off a show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one before.
Like for that, I like to use NPP for that. That helps a lot.
I do both. This is the second time he's had me do that.
Oh, which one? Dbol MPP test?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all I wrote.
That's that rebound classic.
I only do the D-ball for like the first 4 weeks, and by that time I'm pretty much back at like a healthy weight, I guess you could say, from the show.
Yeah. Well, you know, another way that helps, because if you're similar to me or like most people, the D-ball kind of kills the appetite a little bit, which is good for you post show, because Compton doesn't push the food right out the gate. He usually keeps it a little low, so you're gonna be hungry as fuck. So that D-ball does help you not be hungry as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Personally, it doesn't kill my appetite at all. I'm hungry as fuck when I'm on it.
Yeah, I'm hungry right now.
Yeah, on D-ball. It's Anadrol that kills my appetite.
Oh, for me, it's both. They
Have you tried taking that before bed? That's what I was doing.
I tried that a little bit. It helps.
Yeah. That's Paul said it didn't help him, and I asked Justin some options. I was like, "Hey, do you want me to switch back to D-ball because that doesn't affect me? Do you want me to lower the dose?" Blah blah. He said, "Nah, he'd rather just scrap it all together."
Yeah.
When I tried at nighttime, it made no difference. Felt exactly the same.
That's what Paul said.
Yeah.
I think maybe you start at nighttime. I'd be one thing, but when I did it, I would jump to nighttime. Once my appetite was already fucked, I would try to take it at night. Well, my appetite's already fucked.
Yeah.
So suppose maybe starting it from day one at nighttime and running it that way the whole way through. That might work, you know.
Yeah. The best part about Anadrol though is like having it before you train, because you just feel like a tank, you know.
Yeah,
you get so strong and full, and like I think that's the best time to use it. So I don't know. I train it at the end of the day personally, like after 4 meals. So doing it right before bed ain't gonna make a big difference.
Yeah. You're pretty much taking it at night anyways.
Yeah.
Also, when I was younger, like in my early 20s, I could take a bunch of Anadrol and I wouldn't lose my appetite at all. You know, I could take as much Anadrol as I wanted. No, my appetite would be fine.
Probably drink a bunch and not get hungover too. I mean, same shit working there.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's see what we got. Same question.
Too, while you're at it,
do the whole shebang. Who didn't answer the question besides Zaid?
Oh, me. I don't think I went. Health phase, dude. Always after a show.
Zay looks high as hell.
Huh?
I said Zay looks high as hell.
I don't think I answered. Did I?
No, I said you look high.
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
I am.
Yeah. After the show, dude, we rebound. We rebound first, and then we do the health phase. I'm still in it, so about 3 months in total.
Damn, I'm the only one that health phases right out of the show. Then
I do that same.
In this group,
yeah. I'm actually dropping weight. Like we bumped up my carbs probably 200 grams from my base, and I'm dropping weight. I was 206 this morning. Last Monday I was 208.
Well, that's the
water.
beauty.
That's gonna be water though.
Yeah, my body just keeps. I guess de-stressing and flushing water. I'm off supplements, I guess. So
that's the beauty. That's the beauty of coming off after the show. One time, the last time I did that, I did the show, came off, and went to Puerto Rico, and I just ate like a pig. So I knew I was going to eat like a pig, so I didn't want to do my cycle. But like you said, I didn't gain weight. My weight stayed the same, and I got so full and round at the same weight. I look shredded, full, round. Maybe not shredded. That's an overstatement. But I look lean. I was popping. So I was like, maybe this could be a good idea, especially if you have like naturally you hold water a lot and you're like a full round kind of guy. I could see the benefits in that. So you don't have to restrict as much. Because if I come out of the show, go straight into rebound, I really do have to restrict like my carb intake, even my sodium intake to a point. I can't just be, eat, So I think there's some benefits in that. Because and you also just, if you stay lean enough, you just catch that rebound on the back end. Because when I see Jordan, he looks like he's having a rebound literally like 10 weeks after the show. He's still catching the rebound because he stayed lean. So I'm like, it definitely works. That way works as well. So that's just a different way of doing it. I think it could have benefits for certain people.
I know I'm going to be in off season for 2 years, so I want to set up this off season so I'm hungry and building into it, and lean starting it. So I don't want to just be full and maxed out before I even start my off season. So that's the reason why I can just push right out the gate.
I think eventually, like I'm not gonna do a rebound with drugs in it anymore, because eventually, like, what do you need to build?
How much
more tissue do you need? And most people aren't there, right? I'm not there yet, but a year or two from now, maybe.
Yeah, you're getting close. Should we do another question or fuck it? Just close the laptop and go home.
One more. Pay attention, Zay.
Enjoy, you guys.
It's coming your way.
I'm all ears.
How to fix too many competitors at the Olympia? First of all, do you think it's a problem? Do you think they should fix it? And what would be a good way to fix it? Let's start with Zaid.
What's the question again? What the hell?
Oh, did everybody hear it or no?
No, I didn't hear
you said you were all ears, bro.
I am. Yeah, I just had a glitch. What did you say?
Yeah, a brain glitch. Wake up.
No,
seriously, I couldn't hear him.
Oh, my bad. The question is how to fix too many competitors at the Olympia.
For what division, though? I mean, we're not talking about open, right?
I guess the open did have too much a couple of years, but this year everybody kind of fell out. But let's say across the board for all the divisions.
Well, at first, put the prejudging a little earlier, right?
Wait, what? No, we're talking about...
What's the question? How to fix competitors?
Too many competitors.
The person who asked the question thinks that there are too many competitors at the Olympia. How do you fix that?
He wants to lower that, yeah.
Now I understand. Okay.
To translate.
Well, they already did that, didn't they? They removed the point system and made it only winners go to the O. So
that was
I
only
think
3 people, though.
Yeah, that's only 3 people out of like 70 in Classic.
Oh yeah.
Well, didn't they also take the qualifiers out? Like only the top 3 now of each division.
Well, they did that for the Open, but it makes no difference because think about it. The top 3 qualified. Hadi is qualified for life. Brandon is qualified for life. Derek is qualified for life. Who else is qualified for life? Rami is qualified for life. So you have the four of the top 6 qualified for life. Then you have the top 3. So you're still gonna have 7 people who are gonna be qualified automatically before any shows. So imagine 7 people already being qualified. Does that really change anything? Maybe in the future it does, but for now it doesn't. They should probably limit
the qualifiers, like have pro shows across the board like they want for the business sake. But like say like the New York Pros are qualifier or the Arnolds are qualifiers, like limit the names of the shows to be actual Olympia qualifiers.
Think so?
I don't really think there's that.
I don't think there's that many open qualifiers. But if you want to go to other divisions, I think they should cut those in half. Because I mean they have a qualifier every 2 weeks somewhere. You know what I mean? Or every weekend somewhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I have a question. Do you guys think there's too many competitors for the open class? I don't think there's too many on the Olympia stage.
No,
there were 17 guys on stage this year, I believe, and I think there were like 22 or 23 total who were qualified.
Yeah,
and then there's some guys couldn't make it. Baruz, fucking Nathan, Rami didn't go, all that. So like, I don't know, 23 people in a show is like, it's a big show, but I mean, it's not crazy. When it was like 33 who were qualified the year previous, that was a combination of like, and a very extended qualification period because they keep on moving the fucking Olympia around, which
Yeah.
they need to cut out, you know. And I think they're gonna be making it more steady now.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I don't think that's really too many. If you're in the back of the pack at the Olympia, it's like, I don't think that's a problem, man. It's like you got to go to the Olympia, and you're not some schmuck bodybuilder if you got there.
I I don't have an issue with too many competitors across the board at all. My only thing is the timing. It fucks up the timing. I think if they do it in a way that people don't, I guess, don't suffer from it, I don't know how they would go about that. But especially the open guys, I feel like if maybe they went first for prejudging, at least the individuals, maybe they can do. Nah, I think if
I feel like we've talked about this before, dude. They're
them going
never going to
first,
change that for money reasons, and
yeah,
because they have an empty stadium if they did that in the order, and fundamentally they just don't really care about
yeah,
the
okay.
athletes. And, like, this happens every year, you know.
Do we need more than 20? Do we need more than 20 people in a division? Like once you stop counting after 16, how many more people do we need after that? Like if 4 people tie for 16 or 5 people, do we need 10 people to tie for 16? Does that matter at that point? You know, I think I think 20 people is more than enough in every division. You don't have to have 50 bikini girls, you know. So I guess you would have to limit the shows, but then you're taking money away from competitors. I don't
Yeah,
think they're
it's
not an
very
easy
weird because
solution.
like the pro-am setup where like almost every pro show, men's open or like, classic or whatever, there's a pro show and then there's an amateur show associated with that pro show. And the amateur show funds any prize money for the pro show. The one exception of
Exactly.
that being like, I think the Dubai show next year and then New York. The New York was always the exception of that. The fucking Beatty, you did the amateur at the Cal, right?
Hmm.
So the that model is a good model for local level amateur shows because like you have a pro show attached to it and it brings more audience in and like brings fans in.
Hmm.
So they're giving them like $1,000 for a bikini show or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Classic prize money is nothing. So if you had like a tiered setup, and they had a tiered setup for the point system, right? There were like 3 tiers of shows for the points.
Hmm.
And the Arnold gave a shitload of points, and every other show gave like less, right? So if you had only like the top tier classic shows qualifying, you had no point system, and then like the secondary ones, like you would just have kind of, well, then nobody's going to do it, right? 'Cause it's not,
Exactly. So the promoter is gonna make no money.
yeah,
If right now Tamer says, "Hey guys, hey Tamer Ogundy from Muscle Contest, hey, for the Cal State, we're not giving no Olympic qualifications, but show up anyways. Good luck." Like
yeah.
you're gonna be like, "I'm not fucking doing the Cal." You're not gonna show up and be like, "Yeah, I won the Cal. Look at my ring," but I'm not going to the Olympia. Like
But they
nobody's
still
gonna
get
do that,
paid, no? They still get paid their 10,
bro.
12.
Nobody's competing for that damn two
But I'm
thousand
saying like
dollars.
they can do that show, try to make a paycheck, but then go do the qualifiers for the Olympia. They don't have to limit
I,
themselves to that one show.
I don't believe anybody is competing to spend 20 grand and then make 10 grand. I don't think anybody's doing that. I gotta be honest
Well,
with you.
this isn't even like for open though. I was talking
I
for
don't think I don't
classic.
think Open's the problem.
Yeah,
No,
open's
That's all.
no,
I
I
mean,
think pretty
you want a
good.
fucking bikini, like
thousand
yeah.
bucks. I guess they're only buying a little bit of Anavar and shit, but they got those expensive
Some
suits
of them.
though, and the makeup and the fucking fake hair.
you
It's
see,
like
bro,
it
it's
actually,
not open bodybuilding. So I mean, if you're gonna limit from fucking 45 competitors to 20, and you still make some money as a bikini competitor where it's not as expensive when it comes to like everything else
Bro,
but the show.
bro, their bikinis cost more than the paycheck, bro.
yeah,
I'm actually serious.
that's
Their
true. Like
bikinis
they
cost more than
actually
the
probably
paycheck.
spend more than us, even though we're spending all this money on drugs and shit. Like they have
The
to
makeup,
buy
hair.
fucking fake tits, makeup, hair, like all the stuff. It adds up.
there's not
Don't
one
take it for an
person.
investment.
Yeah,
Definitely.
there's not one competitor on this planet that's doing a show other than the Arnold Olympia for money. Nobody's competing for 10 grand, bro, because you're gonna spend so much more. It's just not. I don't think anybody.
They just bumped New York up to 20.
I was just
for
going to
Burch.
say that. Make it more appealing for big competitors to come in.
Call it a cost of living adjustment. I mean, it only took him like 25 years to do that.
Yeah, man.
It's good though. It's good.
It's
Hope
great. I
other
mean,
people follow suit. Maybe our bitching is paying off. I'm gonna keep it up.
hopefully. Be careful though, Stu. Careful. You're doing New York.
Respectfully.
I think that's it. We've been on about 2 hours. I think that'll do, gentlemen. But stay on for a little bit after I cut off because I want to ask the boys a couple of questions. All right. I guess that's it. Peace out, people.
Bye, guys.
Y'all said y'all wanted more episodes, huh?
Yeah.
Stop that recording before we go open.
Y'all say y'all wanted more episodes. Here you go. We got y'all. Thanks for coming on, Trevor. Appreciate
Of course. Yeah. Hell yeah. I've been following you guys a bit and appreciate you guys. And I know I've been friends with Zaid for a bit, and Zaid's been in my corner. He's like messaging me like, it's your last year as a pro. And it just, like I said, it just hyped me up. And I had Paul actually message me post show and congratulate me. And he's the one that got me on scheduled with you.
Yeah.
And yeah, appreciate it. So it's awesome.
Hell yeah, brother. Congrats. You
Congrats,
fucking
man.
showed them what a light heavyweight can do.
Yeah, light heavyweights this year.
Hell yeah, motherfuckers. All you supers are shit.
I didn't see it.
And on that note, we're gonna have Justin Wyatt on next week.
Yeah.
With Zayd.
Zayd's pretty out of that one.
I'm gonna tell Justin, the whole time, you were the winner in my eyes, Justin, the whole time. All right, guys. Peace out to the people.